The American Society of Civil Engineers declared Machu Picchu as a masterpiece of civil engineering. Take me into connection with Mother Nature. So if I go more than 1,000 times, I can say that this place, Machu Picchu, is magical. So you never get bored of it. My name is Roland, so I'm going to be talking about Peru, outdoor trails that we have here. A little bit myself, so I was born and raised here in Cusco, in the Andes. So I took this profession to be an official tour guide, and I'm working since 2007. Currently, I'm the co-founder of a small company, local company called Crossover Peru, which is a licensed guiding service that we provide while you visit Peru. And besides that, so since 2007, I've been leading trips in Peru and also South America, several countries in South America that give us a background to show what are the highlights that we can offer in terms of outdoors and activities around the whole country. I had this great opportunity to be in one of the wonders of the world, Machu Picchu, more than 1,000 times. Some people always ask me, but 1,000 times, it is too much. You get bored of being in Machu Picchu all these times, but every time that I go there, sometimes with groups, sometimes with family, is a very nice experience, a release experience that take me into connection with Mother Nature. So if I go more than 1,000 times, I can say that this place, Machu Picchu, is magical, so you never get bored of it. Today in the presentation, we will talk about a little bit of Peru, Machu Picchu, general overviews, and also about the trails that takes you to Machu Picchu and all the logistics involved that we have around this amazing place. Just to give you an idea, for some people who are interested to come here, Peru, our country, is located in South America, and Peru is located in a nice area where the mountain Andes range is crossing the whole country. So we have like different type of climates, we have different type of fruits, food in general. So we are a country that has 82 different type of climates. So this biodiversity of climates give us like a quantity of meals that we can have around, and also the diversity of culture that we have in the area. So Cusco region is located in the south part of Peru, and Machu Picchu is located in this area. To give you an idea, so in Cusco, like most of our region is like cloud forest and rainforest section. So we have a good portion of mountains, Andes, that also we go do activities, outdoor activities, but also we have a great portion of jungle areas here in Cusco region. Our yearly that we have now in the Andes, in Cusco region, is Machu Picchu. Now we will let you know great information about this place, and currently we have like thousands of people visiting during the year this new wonder of the world. But we will see it's not only the Incan cities that our ancestors built that is really important, it's the whole environment around that also take an important place into this area. Even the mountains that you see in the background. But what is the interesting facts that give us these outstanding values that is different to other ones around the world? Here in the middle, the Machu Picchu sanctuary, the city that you come to visit, but there is like a couple of mountains that is possible to climb now for those guys who love outdoors, get to the summit. So we have the one on the back, is called Machu Picchu mountain, which is a mountain that gives us an overview about the whole cloud forest area around Machu Picchu. And also we have like the Huayna Picchu mountain view that is just like this has been taken. People also that visit Machu Picchu, they can have the opportunity to climb this mountain. Peruvian government will regulate how many people can hike there, but it's possible to go to Machu Picchu mountain hike and also Huayna Picchu mountain hike, guys. So when you visit Machu Picchu, you do your tour around the city, but you get an extra pass, and it's possible to climb one of these mountains where the Incas, they have built like stair paths, and also we have some buildings construction. For example, in Huayna Picchu, we have great lookouts, and even we have like the moon temple that the Incas have built around. This is another view like close to Huayna Picchu mountain. It's an amazing view. It's a relaxing view, and you have the opportunity here, as we were telling you, when you come to Machu Picchu, to of course learn about the Inca history, but also to be connected with nature. That's very important when we are here. Our culture, the Andes culture, so is connected with nature. And when you visit these type of places, even if there is a hike involved, so we want you to feel that connection here. This is the view of the Machu Picchu mountain, which is stunning. It's more hours hiking, around 2.5 hours hiking to the Machu Picchu mountain, but you can see this amazing view when you arrive to this place. It's important for us to focus at our civilization, our culture that we have here for thousands of years. The way that we see religion is a little bit different from other parts that the religions have developed. So in this case, what we are gonna see into this area when we have a sacred city like Machu Picchu is that the city itself is not only the sacred place, it's the whole environment around. So we talk about sacred landscape, connection with the mountains, connection with Mother Nature, connection with the river, connection with the flora, fauna that is around you, and also try to live in balance with them. That's very important. And we have a lot of places here in Peru, but in this case, Machu Picchu give us a great concept about that, this sacred landscape. Now, Machu Picchu was officially discovered in 1911. So what happened in the area is that Inca culture, so we have developed and expanded into South America for several years in the 1500s. So when the Spanish arrived here, the Spanish brought, Europeans in general brought like smallpox diseases, all of this, and our population was like devastated. And after that, we have some civil wars, Inca rebellions against the Spaniards. And Machu Picchu, as a sacred place in the cloud forest, was abandoned in this period around the 1540s by the royal families there, because the royal families wanted to go to this last Inca refuge. So Machu Picchu itself was abandoned in the 1940s, 1950s. The storehouses were burned, the trails were cut, and for most researchers, archaeologists, there are evidence that like Spanish didn't found it. They might hear, they might see like Machu Picchu, but the storehouses were burned, so they just continue and try to find the last refuge. So for hundreds of years, Machu Picchu was covered by forests. And during the 1800s, some local peoples were living around. But we have in 1911, one American professor from Yale University came to Peru, and he was the one who discovered Machu Picchu. So this picture that we can see now it gives us a view a couple of years later when he came with a team of archaeologists, osteologists, and a big team of scholars, and they start cleaning Machu Picchu. Those are pictures from those years, from 1912, 1913. You will see the conditions that they found these Incan cities, even if the forest took over, even if we have like several earthquakes in the 16, 17, 18, 1900s. So the city survived itself, and the buildings were standing there by the 1900s. Just to give you an idea on how well is preserved Machu Picchu, there is a view of our sacred city on the left side. This view was taken around 1912. In the picture, you will see the Sun Temple and the house of the high priest. And you will see a picture that was taken a couple of years ago. If you see the level of conservation that we have in the area is great. Currently, the Peruvian government is working on preserving this place for the next generation, but you can see that a good amount of this Inca site is well preserved until now. Here is the picture of this famous professor from Yale University, Hiram Bingham, that came to South America. Even if when you come here, we let you know there were other Peruvians that they stay some years before Hiram Bingham in Machu Picchu. So we are thanks to this American professor that he came to these lands and let the world know that we have an amazing civilization that live in the Andes, that they have developed to build cities on the cliffs, that they have developed to grow staple products that is feeding now the world. The first expeditions that he did, he came first in 1911. He did all the research about the area. By 1912, Hiram Bingham came back to Peru 1 year later, but he brought this big team, but he was a sponsor from National Geographic, Yale University, Kodak cameras, in order to show the world that we have a great civilization here. So there is a picture of the National Geographic magazine that a year later give us several pages of his magazine to Peru. And now we will see what is Machu Picchu now. We were telling you this is a sacred city located in the cloud forest, and it was built in the cliffs of this mountain. So Machu Picchu itself has several areas. They have an agricultural sector, they have an urban sector. Into the urban sector, we have storehouses, living buildings, and several temples and astronomical places. So one cool fact about Machu Picchu that this place was built on a cliff. This place was built in an area with a rainfall about 70 inches of rain per year. And how you can build a place like this and not being damaged is because the Inca stonemasons, they were like great builders, and they realized like we have earthquakes in Peru, and we are gonna build this city in an anti-seismic way. We are gonna build this place with a lot of channels, and in order to have a city, we need to put the whole mountain stable. So they build like a lot of terraces and retainer walls. The American Society of Civil Engineers declare Machu Picchu as a masterpiece of civil engineer, because even the geography, weather conditions, and other factors, so we can appreciate this amazing city located in the mountain. Right now, we have, when we visit Machu Picchu, we have like several areas where you can see, depending what type of visit you are doing, if you are hiking the Inca Trail, but mainly you visit the center area of Machu Picchu, because the government declared like 37,000 hectares, not only Machu Picchu, all the areas around as a national park, but right now it's possible to see the city and some other spots around too. This is a reconstruction about how Machu Picchu looks like, as we were telling you. So it's a city located in the cloud forest, so all the houses that we have there, they have all the roofs. Right now, the governments, they rebuilt it, like very few buildings for you to give you an idea. And Machu Picchu was like a capital sacred city in the cloud forest. So a lot of people came from other small cities, towns around from the cloud forest for the big celebrations, like the one that we have like a couple of days ago. We get into winter solstice, so people came to Machu Picchu for winter solstice celebrations, summer solstice celebrations, as we have these plazas and also astronomical places to measure all of these details. The scholars, archaeologists, they have the opportunity to make all the research. For example, in this picture, we will see the sand, people call it sundial, which is an outcrop rock that the Incas carved, and it's on top of a step pyramid. One fact about Machu Picchu is that the Spanish or Europeans didn't arrive like here and smash, destroy all the temples or astronomical places that we have, and they built a Catholic church, like it happens with Cusco City, Ollantaytambo, and other cities that we have around. So Machu Picchu is intact. And right now, during these natural phenomena like winter solstice, summer solstice, equinoxes, so the researchers comes and they try to measure what these outcrop rocks works. And yeah, so right now we have like better information about these places. For example, there is another picture of this astronomical place. So in this picture, we will see this place that we call the Sun Temple. So the Sun Temple was designed by the Incas to measure specific winter and summer solstice days specific. And the window that we will see there with the light, the sun comes like around 7 a.m. on June 21st, straight to the window into the middle of the outcrop rock that is in the center. And during summer solstice, there is another window on the right. So the Incas, during like several years, the astronomers, they measured this because they wanted to have a calendar. The Incas, they were rulers, they were conquering people. So knowledge of calendars, as we are a farming society, it was very important. So all these temples that we have here, they work as astronomical places that until now is still working, and these natural phenomena, it is possible to appreciate in Machu. There's another view here of one temple, the Temple of the Moon. This temple is located in the mountain, and this temple was built, carved in a kind of cave bedrock. So the Incas managed to adapt this natural architecture into the cave and built a temple here. Right now, as Maya was mentioning at the beginning, so we have Machu Picchu open, we have Machu Picchu safe to visit. Yes, you need to follow the protocols that we have in the country, and you can come to this amazing place. In this view, we will see how our government, the Ministry of Culture and his team is working. This is like a daily work. When you come here, you still have the opportunity to visit the temples, to explore the terraces, to go to the lookouts. But there is a team that they work daily in order to preserve, clean Machu Picchu, and of course, do excavations and investigations here. So there is some passes tickets that the Peruvian government collected, but this is getting back to the area. So right now, that's why like UNESCO give us this title of World Heritage Site. What are the best ways to reach Machu Picchu? So we'll talk about the famous Inca Trails and other alternative treks that we have. One good option that we will give you about visiting Machu Picchu, if you like outdoor activities, will be the classic Inca Trail, the 4-day Inca Trail hike. So, which is specific, this is a 26.5-mile hike. So it's 4-day hiking, 3 days camping. The classic Inca Trail started in the kilometer 82, and we go around the mountains. We start around like 7,000 feet the first day. The second day, we go to 14,000 feet for the famous Dead Woman Pass. The third day, we climb down into the cloud forest, and day number 4, we arrive into Machu Picchu. So this is an amazing adventure if you like outdoor activities, hiking, and also if you love camping, because what happened here is that we hike all the Inca Trail, but we have a team of porters that they set up the tents that we have around. So it's a cool camping activity. In this picture, we will see the view of the famous Dead Woman Pass. These travelers were happy. So when you come here to hike and arrive to the summit, so you feel that satisfaction when you get to the summit and enjoy the view, the area that you hike from, and also the environment that we have around, like the snow caps. This picture shows us the view of the third day. So we're getting into the cloud forest. We're getting into this nice area. So we have on the Inca Trail to see nice Inca sites, to go with a good crew, but also to find flora and fauna. So in this national park called Sanctuary of Machu Picchu, we have like preserved areas. So we will find like orchids. It's possible to find like several type of plants, trees, birds. We have some endemic birds around, and some mammals also. So during the hike, it's possible to spot flora and fauna. Of course, the amazing Inca sites like this one called Sayakmarca that the Incas have built here on the cliffs. So we have like several Inca sites. We have like small lodges, we have temples, we have storehouses, we have terraces that the Incas have built along this 26.5-mile hike. This is a great experience, guys. If you want to go to Machu Picchu, of course, after like 3 nights hiking into the mountains, on day 4, early in the morning, you're hiking into the cloud forest and you have this view of the sacred city of Machu Picchu. So this is a good satisfaction when you arrive to this place. Just one fact about Inca Trail, guys, is that the government regulate how many people go on the Inca Trail. So it's like around 500 people a day. If you are interested on the Inca Trail, 4-day Inca Trail, book in advance, guys. Book in advance. This is very important. It's 4 or 6 months in advance. It's suggested if you want to get a pass, if you want to get a permit. Also, guys, if you want to taste the Inca Trail, but maybe camping is not you, so we have the version of 2-day Inca Trail hike. So on the 2-day Inca Trail hike, we arrive until the kilometer 104, and we do 1 full day hike into the Inca Trail. Of course, we will visit amazing lookouts around. We will visit Inca sites. But the first day, we're going to focus on hike. First day in the afternoon, we're going to arrive to Machu Picchu, have a great overview of Machu Picchu. And at night, we are going to have overnight in the famous Aguascalientes town. And the second day, we will explore Machu Picchu, the city itself. So it's 2 days, 1 night, and 1 full day hiking specifically, but where you can taste and explore the Inca Trail, but at the same time has a little bit of comfort and is living in a lovely hotel in this town called Aguascalientes. This is a great view of the place called Huayna Huayna. So this is an amazing Inca site with a lot of terraces located on the Inca Trail, and specific on the 2-day Inca Trail, you will be able to explore the terraces, the temples, the fountains that we have around here, and of course to enjoy these views, these landscapes that we have in the cloud forest and in the Andes. The first day hiking in the afternoon, you will have this option to go through the Sun Gate. So that's the view. After hiking the Inca Trail, you have that view of Machu Picchu. You will be able to get that postcard picture view and then have this overnight. And the second day, you will have time to re-enter and visit the Inca site, the sacred city of the Incas. Both options, guys, that we have, Inca Trail 4-day, Inca Trail 2 days to Machu Picchu. As we were telling you, this is like limited spots that we have here. So as Peruvian government is trying to protect the area, you are visiting a national park into these Inca Trail areas. So what happens, for example, with a 4-day Inca Trail is that we have 500 spaces per day. And from the 500 spaces, 200 are travelers and 300 is the crew that go with us, the porters, the chef, the waiters that go with us. It is the same model for the 2-day Inca Trail. So comparing to other trails that we have more people, so this is like well preserved. You have the opportunity to go into the cloud forest, but we have other option called Salkantay Trek, which is a 5-day trek, more than 30 miles crossing the mountains, guys. And this is an alternative trek, not as strict as the Inca Trail ones that we show you, but also is pretty enjoyable. On the Salkantay Trail, guys, you will cover all these sections where you will see stunning, amazing mountains, specific in the Salkantay range. So you will be able to go from 14,000 feet the first day, the second day to almost 15,000 feet, and then descend to the cloud forest. So it's a pretty cool hike. As we told you, not as strict as the Inca Trail, but yeah, give you a good option if you are a hiking person, outdoor person, and of course, challenge yourself. The second day, the summit, the pass is almost 15,000 feet, guys, but it's satisfaction when you cross this pass, when you are close to these amazing mountains that we call Apus, means like a mountain protector for us. And Salkantay mountain specifically is the second highest mountain in Cusco region. So you will be able to reach this area. That's a view of one of our guides, is Judith. Judith is leading a trip with a female trip with us. So there you get a meter, 6,270 meters above sea level during the Salkantay Pass, Salkantay Trek. So of course, on the way, like we have amazing views from the lake, like this one is called Umantay Lake. Umantay Lake is located in this Salkantay Trek area. So you will be able to visit this lake, this turquoise lake, and has this great view, a little bit type of view that you can relax and taste the mountains that we have around. So we have other mountain lakes here around, like the Andes, the mountains, but the color of the rock formation that we have here close to a snow cap, the snow cap in this case also is called Umantay. So give us this great atmosphere while you are hiking in the mountains. Of course, on the Salkantay, after getting these summits, you will be able to go into the Machu Picchu sand trails. You will go into this Acceso Amazonicos. You will go to the cloud forest. You will get into Machu Picchu. Now, the type of accommodations that we are providing, guys, in this case, as there is not many restrictions, like when we have on the Inca Trail and we set up our tents, we give you foam mattresses, you bring your sleeping bags. So here on Salkantay, we are able to upgrade your accommodation. Maybe you love hiking, want to do Salkantay Trail, but you have a little bit comfy sleeping overnight here. So we have these domes. These domes at night, you're going to be like well protected. You have like proper beds, bathrooms. For us, it's important that you enjoy the experience, you enjoy the views during the day, that you taste great foods, but also you have a good sleep. So Salkantay Trek gives you this amazing option where you can combine like mountains, cloud forests, and also nice camping options. This is a great view of Salkantay mountains around. So guys, when you come to Peru, we say like everything is about outdoors. We have the historical part, we have the cultural section. But if you want to enjoy, get connected with nature, hiking option is a good one. And Salkantay Trek, the 5-day, 4 nights, is a good option for it. First day, like altitude is gonna try to hit you. So the local people, they have the horses. So there is an option, guys, that local people can provide you one of these horses in the hike. Another great view, getting the summit. For us, getting in contact with the mountains is very important. So when we are on the hikes, we try you to feel that, guys. Get connected with nature, release from home, release from work, and just enjoy what is life, enjoy what is nature. Another view, we give you time, we give you a space while you are hiking on the Salkantay Trek. Another alternative trek gives you a great view of the Andes mountains. Another alternative trek, and also visit Machu Picchu, is this Lares Trek. Inca Trail is the most restricted hike that we have, 4-day hike. Salkantay Trek is like 5-day hike. Lares Trek is a little bit shorter, is like a 3-day hike into the mountains. And day number 4, you arrive to Machu Picchu. But also, this is a great alternative for you. Be connected with the mountains, lakes, and also people, local people. So the difference between Lares Trek comparing to other ones is that during this, you get connected with nature, but also you will visit local communities on the way. Of course, you will have these great views, time to enjoy, challenge yourselves, because a Lares Trek also area is located over 14,000 feet. But at the same time, you will have these great views, mountains, Andes, snow caps. Enjoy all this area around. In the summits also around 15,000 feet. A good amount of population that we have in Peru is living over 14,000 feet. So the type of traditions that we have up here is different. The living style, how these people is living into this area, what they are farming, how they survive to like cold nights, and the environment that we have all around is amazing. But you're gonna learn about all these details. And at the same time, our crew is gonna be accompanied by the llamas. Llamas was an important cargo animal that we have around here, and the llamas are gonna be with us during Lares Trek. So we offer also this option around 20 miles. It's around 20 miles that you hike in 3 days, 2 nights. You visit amazing landscapes. You pass by local communities. You learn about local culture in these communities. You taste all of this, and also you visit Machu Picchu on day number 4. So we have these options, great options as alternative hikes for you. While you are hiking the Lares Trek, we were telling you, so you get connected with nature, but also you get connected with the local people. Here in this picture is some kids in the afternoon after they finish school, so they are enjoying also the views, and maybe one of them is taking care of the llamas around. You hike the Lares Trek after 3 days of hiking, 2 nights of camping. So in the Lares area, there are hot springs if you want. So we take you to this amazing place, relaxing hot tubs, and you will be able to enjoy hot springs after a lovely hike in the area. Machu Picchu by train. So it's possible right now. We have like good hiking options, outdoor options, but also we offer to go Machu Picchu by train, guys. So we have a lovely railway that takes you from the Sacred Valley to Machu Picchu, and it's passing also by amazing views on the way. So the trains that we have a couple of train companies who we organize for you, all the pickups, transfer, train tickets, and all the visit to Machu Picchu. These are a little bit more relaxing, but at the same time, stunning. You will be sightseeing during the train journey, enjoying these amazing views. This one is one from the Sacred Valley. Like in the picture, we have the sacred river called Urubamba. So you're gonna enjoy all these views and also relax and visit our wonder of the world, Machu Picchu. The service that we have on the train is a nice service. You have comfortable seats, open windows, and service on board. There is bathroom, so we will make sure that your experience will be comfortable while you are coming here to Peru. The logistics that we have for all the outdoor activities is very important, that you know that we are taking care of everything. The camping, we have a good crew. For example, the accommodations, the tents that we have here when we do one hike, the Inca Trail, the Lares Trek. So we have like great accommodation. In this case, we are setting up all the campings. Our crew, our porters bring all the tents, the camping equipment, the foam mattress. If you have a sleeping bag home, you can bring it, but also there is an option for renting. But yeah, we try to set up everything for you. And while you are hiking, you are just taking with you your day pack with your water, your camera, your raincoat, and you can enjoy the view. The rest we take care of. If you want to get a little bit of comfort, we have these domes that we're building on the way. So this is a little bit more comfort. You have like not shareable bathrooms. You have your proper bathroom. At night, you sleep in a proper bed. So we give you options, guys. So when you come here to Peru, we give you options so you can choose your better option and enjoy the hikes that you have around. It's very important to mention that here in the mountains, for the outdoor activities that we do, our safety is first. So you're coming to 11,000 feet from sea level. Of course, we're going to suggest you, like before you to come here, you do some preparation to come here. But while you are with us, so we try to make sure that your oxygen saturation is great. We bring our first aid kit, oxygen tanks. Our guides are always in communication with the base camps. And we try to make sure your experience is safe and you arrive to your destination, guys. Our crew, so we have a team of female and male guys that comes with you. Our female and male guys, they study, some of them at the Cusco University, some of them in some other institutions also that we have around, and they are licensed guys. Besides that, our crew also, we are like well trained, including myself in first aid. So we do our survival training, and we try that you have like good information during your hike, but also you feel safe with us and you enjoy the hike. That's very important. So in our crew, we have for example, here is Carmelo, our chef, who is trained. Even if we have like weather conditions, if we have like camping conditions are a little bit different to cook in a regular kitchen, in a restaurant. So he tried to make sure that you have good food, you have like a good balance of a great diet for a hiking experience. So he's trying to make sure all these details. We have another photo, Juan Carlos, which is one of our guides, that make sure that you arrive safe to your destination. And also the team of our porters, that are the base of our logistics, that they carry all the tents, they carry the gas tank, all the food. They make sure that they set up everything before you arrive to your campsite. This is very important to mention. We like them. And the people that works with us, like porters, for example, they belong to some communities that they live 3-4 hours They are like farmers, but they have also an extra income coming with us on the Inca Trail, for example. Do I need to be an extreme hiker for coming to one of these trips? We recommend you, for example, once a week, guys, you can go for a run. You have a hiking area around, you can go for that, but you don't need to be. Just one thing is that you prepare yourselves some weeks ago before you come here. And also, when you come to Peru, before we start the hike, we have like some days of acclimatation here. But you don't need to be a special hiker for coming here. You just need to have like good health conditions, but try to train a little bit at home, even if you live in a flat area and you have a gym, for example. You can try the Stairmaster, for example, for the Inca Trail, because we have like thousands of stairs around. So there's some little tips so we give you before you come here, but you don't need to be like an extreme hiker to come to these amazing views. Other questions that people ask all the time is, do I need to have any technical mountain gear to come here? We have here snow caps. Some people loves to climb the snow caps. For that, you will need like technical gear, like crampon, other ones. But for the hikes that we show you, just need to have good shoes, like good pair of boots, and some like warm clothes in this case, but nothing technical. Normally when we do hikes, we recommend to have like 3 layers. Underneath, the first layer should be like a dry fit, then you have a fleece, and then you have like a coat or rain jacket. So, but nothing too technical. The things that we suggest to come are like possible to find, not too expensive, and yeah, you will use this year for other hikes that you will go around. Now, do I need to carry my own food and belongings? So in this case, for any of the options that we have here, guys, the Inca Trail, the Salkantay Trail, or the Lares Trek, so we take care of about all these things. So you just need to show up. We provide you a duffel box where you put all your clothing for the hike. We take care of that duffel bag. We take care of the food and other belongings during the hike, guys. So while you are hiking, you take your day pack. In your day pack, you have your raincoat, your camera, maybe any extra snack over there, but we take care of the rest. What happens if I get altitude sickness and I will not be able to continue with the trek? So first, we try to avoid this. So you're coming to 11,000 feet and we are going to 15, 14,000 feet, but we try to avoid. So our first suggestions before we start to hike is at least to have like 2 or 3 days before the hike, so your body need to get used to the altitude. And of course, as we were showing you, if we are on the hike, you might have some feeling, maybe headache, something. Try to make sure, like we have the oximeter to measure your oxygen saturation and all of this. But we try to avoid any issue with that. But maybe it happens. Maybe it could happen. We have like very few people that maybe they are on the Inca Trail, second day of the Inca Trail. So what's gonna happen? So we try to make sure to have a plan B for you if this happens. But for sure, we're gonna try to do our best from the beginning, from the pre-information, the few days before the hike and during the hike, that you conquer, that you arrive to the destination. Whether in Peru in general, because we have like the whole Andes mountain range crossing us, we have like different ecoclimates. So now we have global warming. So weather conditions are always changing, guys. But we try to go through that. We try to prepare ourselves with the right equipment, try to get our rain gear, try maybe to even wake up a little bit earlier some days, but we will go through this bad weather and we conquer our summits, we conquer the destinations. How to avoid crowds? This is very important, guys. So Machu Picchu and, well, Peru is a famous destination in South America. In order to avoid crowds, for example, each hike, as we were mentioning, it has a good amount of people. Like, in order to avoid crowds, good options could be the Inca Trails, for example. Is the most like limited hike by the Peruvian government, so they are not crowds. So normally when we sleep, for example, we have like separate campsites. You might meet some people on the summits, like in the Del Guma Pass, meet some trails, but you have your space. The Salkantay Trek, for example, it has a little bit more of people. For sure, you're gonna find some people there. And on the Lares Trek, you're gonna find less travelers, but you're gonna meet local people. So we're for sure, and now the government is working on the crowds, is when we arrive in the 3 type of hikes, and of course with the train, we arrived to Machu Picchu. There are the crowds we're gonna find over there, but the government is controlling, regulating that. And for example, the people that visit, hike the Inca Trail, they have like a separate circuit to visit. The people that is going by train, so that the government is working on that, because as we were mentioning, UNESCO is checking us. The same government institution is trying for you to have a great experience while you are here in this new wonder of the world. For hiking, what's the needed gear that we suggest? And this is like for any of the hiking experience. So we suggest to have like a warm hat or beanie, some sunglasses, like sun protection, very important. 3 layers of clothes, as we were mentioning before, is very important to have for any hike that you do around. And also like waterproof. So we are here in the mountains, we're crossing by the cloud forest, so we might expect some rain. Warm clothes, gloves, beanies, bandanas, all these things is important to have. You have a personal first aid kit. We bring ours, but it's good you to have yours. Maybe you have any special medication with you. Bottle of water. It's important, in specific the canteen, because normally for the hikes that we have, guys, the first day you bring your own water, but the following days we provide you boiled, filtered, purified water that our crew take care of that, but you need to have a container with you. And of course, if you are hiking in different type of terrain, like stone staircases, dirt, so we need good boots. We need good boots for this. This is very important to have. Now, at night, there is no electricity, but so we suggest to have your headlamp. Sometimes like flash or the light from the phone, it's not enough. So we suggest to have that, like a good phone with like camera, extra batteries, and a sleeping bag and hiking pools. If you have one sleeping bag at home, you can take with us. And if not, you can rent. We have the option for renting. And the same with the hiking pools. If you have like a bad knee, bad ankle, or maybe bad back, so it's suggested to have the hiking pools. So this we recommend them. Depending on the hike also, we give you some other little things also for you to come here. As we were telling you, so the classic Inca Trail, we need to book a little bit in advance, but September to November for now, we have still space for 2,000 seconds. So the price is about $830 per person, guys. This is a great experience that you cannot miss it. If, as I told you, if maybe you are not involved on camping, but you want to taste the Inca Trail, we have the 2-day, 1-night Inca Trail. Right now we have spaces from July to November. So it's about $555 per person. Now we have the option Salkantay Trek, the 5-day, 4-night option with the domes, with this nice sleep around. So we still have spaces from July to November, and the price is $760 per person. So it's a cool hike into the mountains, and so we arrive to the cloud forest, and you have this nice sleep. If you want to get in contact with the local communities and do the hike 3 days, 2 nights, and the day number 4, visit Machu Picchu, the Lares Trek is an option. And we have spaces from July to November, $745 per person. And if you are maybe short on time or you want to chill, relax, take the train. So we have the Machu Picchu by train option, depending if it's a full day, it's a 2-day night. So we have in a range between 455 to 615 per person, guys. All this information, of course, you're gonna find in the website of 57 hours. Also, we are designing, guys, as we were showing some of the pictures. So we have a female crew, we have a female guides, so we have some female chefs. So we are designing a nice exclusive experience for you girls that maybe you want to come here and try to have time, go with a female group. So we have a 7-day package for you. Right now, departure are from September to November, and you are going to experience not only a hike, you're going to taste Cusco, you're going to taste communities around, and we have this 7 days, 6 nights experience. The first day, you're going to explore Cusco City. The second day, you're going to visit local communities in the Sacred Valley, and the following days, you will have the amazing Inca Trail with all the crew equipment and logistics that we show you around. And we will go in group sizes. We have like limited edition groups, in this case from 5 to 16 people, 1 or 2 licensed guys, depending the size of the group. This is a great experience. This is a limited edition experience that we are launching. And yes, it's gonna happen the following months. We are working now on checking the spaces, the permits for the Inca Trail for the people who wants to book this amazing experience for $1,270 per person. And yeah, this is a great limited experience for women who want to visit Machu Picchu. If you are into outdoor activities, if you like to explore new places, South America is open for you. Here in Peru, we are waiting for you, and let's go and hike. Gracias.